John with the ProCut day one kitchen remodel, and we're going to be removing all the old cabinets, pulling up this linoleum floor. We're going to be putting down the same laminate that we put in the rest of the house here in the kitchen, and they're getting all new appliances, new countertops, the whole 9 yards. So this should be interesting. So step one, demolition. So I'm starting to remove the cabinets. I took the screw from here and here that were holding these cabinets together, and there were 3 screws besides these 2 holding that cabinet up, and they weren't even into a stud, man. That thing could have failed at any moment on this homeowner. Same thing here with the base cabinet. Really the only thing holding it to the wall was the silicone that they put on the backsplash. There were 3, it looks like 4 little screws in there, but again, they weren't into a stud. At least this is sitting on the ground, so it doesn't have any room for failure. But man, some installers just don't care. Don't go with the cheapest bid, friends. This cabinet here, 2 screws holding it to these cabinets, and 2 screws holding it to this cabinet, 1 screw holding it into the wall. Hopefully it's at least in a stud, but I mean, crazy. They're really lucky that these, you know, you load these things up with dishes and whatnot, and it's amazing that they didn't fail. Suspected that screw was not in the stud. You know, they just missed it. Just went to the outside of the stud. It's crazy. So today is not going nearly as smoothly as yesterday, but I do have the truck loaded with all of the cabinets except for the sink base, because there's an issue with the plumbing valve. It won't turn all the way off, and so I'm not able to cut the water to remove that. So I'm going to have to replace that plumbing. So the plan was going to be to get all the rest of the cabinets and everything out and get the floor down first, but I've had to change gears because when I went to unhook the water supply lines, the valve on the cold side apparently won't close all the way. The seals are bad. Something's going on with it. So I'm going to have to shut the main water off and replace that whole valve. So now I'm switching gears, and I'm going to go ahead and start the upper cabinets, and I'm going to start in the corner. I've got out my laser, and you can see how off the original cabinets were. That first cabinet is good and level, and then these cabinets just start getting lower and lower in the corner and on this side. Pretty crazy. Rest assured, the new ones will all be straight. With the laser marking the bottom of the cabinets, I've marked my studs here and here. So now I can get my corner cabinet, hold it into place, and shoot a couple of screws in on the nailer plates. With your laser marking your bottom line and your studs marked out, go ahead and put a scrap board up on the wall for a cleat. Then you can set your cabinet on top of that cleat so you can hold it with one hand so you can get the screws in. With the first cabinet in place, we can go ahead and move our cleat. That way we could put our second cabinet up, and again, that cleat is going to take the weight of the cabinet, making it much easier to do by yourself. The second cabinet is in place. I had to shim it out here in order to get a good joint right here, and then I put a screw in this way, and I pre-drilled and countersunk that screw. and there's also one at the top. So now these are very secure. I do need to go back and add a couple more screws in this one because I only have 1, 2. I'm going to put 2 at the top and it'll be good to go. Now all the cabinets are up on this wall and the first one on this wall. So the next step, we're going to have to measure because this ductwork is going to need to be cut down so it fits inside the cabinet, because we've got 3 more cabinets to put up here. So I've decided, because we have so much heavy duty structure in here with 2x6s, so I've notched out the back of the cabinet, and then to get the cabinets to line up I had to bevel this in a little bit as well. And then once that's up and the microwave hood vent goes in, we can hook the pipe up and box it the rest of the way in. All right, now all the upper cabinets are in. You can see this one where the box comes in for the hood vent. So once I get the microwave vent in, I'll be able to drill the hole in here, connect the 2 pipes together, and then I'll just box the rest of this in so it's all sealed, as well as seal up around there and down the edges. So now I'm off to Home Depot to pick up a sheet of drywall and some insulation to make the repair here where there was some previous water damage. So I've screwed the piece of sheetrock back in from the other side in the garage portion, and then I put down spray foam on the joints, and now I'm re-insulating. And to cut this insulation, just use your tape measure, measure the piece you're cutting, and then lay it on the floor. When you have a concrete slab, it makes it real easy. And then measure out the piece you need, and with the straight edge, push down on it and just run your razor blade right down the straight edge. Works like a charm. Now it's all re-insulated, we could put the sheetrock on. Alright guys, so we're here at the kitchen remodel, last day, and I got busy and I forgot to show you hooking up the base cabinets and whatnot. Drilled the holes for the plumbing to come through. They're secured to the wall. I put up the vent, which had to have, it's 2 screws here and there's a bracket that goes up underneath, and I plumbed in the vent pipe and everything, and now I'm going to hook up the gas line to the new range. I'm going to put the valves on the water supply pipes. I'm going to put the dishwasher into place. I'm going to put the handles on all the cabinets and drawers, and we're going to get this thing rocking and rolling. All right, check this out. So I've got the Craig jig drawer and door handle template, and you just measure it up how you want it and then clamp it onto the door. You drill out your 2 holes, and then you can put your handles on, and you know all your handles are going to be in the exact same spot as long as you're using the template as you should be using it. Okay, so all the drawer pulls and doorknobs are on, except ran into a little bit of a snag. One of these doorknobs was bad. The screw doesn't start in early enough, so the screw is too short, and it only came with 1, and 2 of the knobs are the wrong knobs. So I've already drilled the holes. The customer will have to add 2 knobs under the sink base and 2 knobs over the fridge.